How did that happen?
You broke it. You sat on it.
It has to screw in. How did it?
It's got a weight limit, bro. Hey guys, welcome to Gearheads. So today we're going to be doing a bumper cut.
Yeah, so on the Miata, it's a really cool mod you can do that's completely free and doesn't cost anything, which is always good. So the bumper cut isn't going to be something that makes a big performance difference on your car. You could argue that it could help you actually reduce a little bit of drag in the back because the way that bumper comes down, it's kind of like a parachute, and it does hold a lot of air in there. So you might experience a little bit less drag, but hey, maybe you can go 115 instead of 114 miles an hour on your stock 1.6. But the bigger thing for me at least is I think they look really cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and try it out on my car and see how it looks, and if we like it, maybe we'll do it to Matt's car too. But hey, if nothing else, I can cut some weight off the car and it looks nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Woo. Okay, so there's a couple different ways you can do this. We are going to actually go underneath the car and take off the whole bumper assembly. If you don't want to do that, I don't know why though, I think it's easier to do it that way. You can take it apart. If you pop your trunk, you can take this finish panel off, you can take your lights out, and then when you get all this stuff off, there's a bunch of clips here and you can further disassemble to pull the bumper off that way. But that just sounds like too much work to me because there's only 8 bolts under there. They're all 14 millimeter. And then the whole bumper assembly should come right off. It might be a little bit heavier to do it that way because some of the frame comes with it too. But I've got my little buddy Matt here, so that shouldn't be a problem.
It's me.
Let's do it.
Dude, this thing's so nice. It has a headrest. It's the best.
It's an extra $4 at Harbor Freight.
Okay, so somebody's disassembled my bumper before, and they did not put it back together all the way. You can see this nut right here with that bolt sticking through, and right up here, there is no nut. If you go over to this side, the top right has a nut, but the bottom does not. And it's matching on the other side too. The other side has the exact same thing going on, so it's probably not a big deal, but this is a 14 millimeter, and I'll just take this one off on this side. Oh man, it's not even that tight. Man, my bumper was like barely hanging on there, dude.
Got it.
Ah, I almost ate that nut. Where'd it go?
It's right there.
What?
On my camera hand.
Oh, it's on your arm. I was like, it bounced off my face, and I never heard it hit the ground. So much dirt. All right, let's do the other side. Same thing. Yours should have 8, so just keep that in mind. You all right there, buddy?
Yeah, dusty.
All right, now that those mounts are off, or before you do those mounts, if you want to get the rest here, there is a Phillips head holding the bottom of the bumper on, and then up here there is a 10 millimeter or also another Phillips head bolt that you need to take out right there. So let's take both of those out on this side and on the other side, and this thing should pop off pretty quick. Like that. There we go. Alright, what's sticking? Can you help me out over there?
Let's see.
There we go. Ta-da! Alright, so Matt apparently left the extension cord somewhere.
Sorry.
So we got to do this close to the wall with the grinder, but which we have ready, but we're not actually going to use yet. So here's what we're going to do. We don't need it on here. Use the engine stand as a stand. So if you look at the bumper here, obviously this is the cutout for the tailpipe. So what I want to do is pretty much go in a straight line from right with this edge of the tailpipe, which by the way has melted a little bit from the heat, which is whatever. But I'm going to go in a straight line from here right about up to where it starts to round off. You can see the line in the bumper right here. And I'm gonna go to just below that, like right on the ridge of it. And then I'm gonna, like I said, straight line up to like that spot right there. And then we're gonna do some measurements. I'm gonna get some tape and everything, make sure I do a nice even line all the way across, and we're gonna do the same exact thing pretty much all the way to the right here on the other side. And then cut down. So basically, like I said, we're gonna match this cutout for the exhaust on this side and then bring both of them straight up and along here to meet in the middle. Like a match made in heaven.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're gonna meet in the middle and they're gonna kiss.
Okay.
Okay, so Matt and I just went through here and got all this marked out, so I'll show you how we did it. We started on this side, and we started with the line that's cut out for the exhaust here and worked our way up to right here. And I picked this point because if you go and roll your finger here, you can actually feel there's a little bit of a ridge right where it starts to roll down, and what I want to hit is right below that ridge. So I wanted to meet up with the line that we drew up here from where they cut the exhaust out. So then we came over to this side, and we triangulated this one point right here by measuring from the bottom corner of the bumper down here, and then measuring up from over here, and then measuring from this bumper line right up here. Now, it's not going to be perfect, but I think just the fact that we actually took the time to measure it all out, I think it'll probably turn out pretty good. I know some people don't even measure, they just eyeball the whole thing, but we measured up to here, and then we figured out exactly how far away our points were on this side and on this side, and then we measured from this crease in the bumper here, and I think, what was it, 6 inches exactly?
Yeah.
Yeah, we measured, for us at least, it was 6 inches exactly, and then we went just right down the line and kept marking little points here for me to aim at with the grinder. So I think that should probably do pretty well, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it out and hope it turns out good.
There's no going back.
No going back. Dude,
Covered in plastic, bro.
me too. Dude, I feel like we're roadkill right now.
Roadkill?
Just doing it the worst way possible. Get some sawhorses or something. Using a chair that moves and rolls around while you're cutting is definitely not the most optimal way to do it, but whatever. And then, by the way, you don't have to have a grinder. I've seen people do it. Well, you can use a Dremel for one thing. You could use a small reciprocating saw maybe, but it might be harder to be accurate with that and not, you know, not mess it up. I've also seen people literally just take a razor, like a, you know, like a razor, huh?
Like a box cutter?
Yeah, like a box cutter, and just cut along, like mark it and cut it slowly and get a groove. And then in that groove, just keep going over and over again through that groove to cut it out. And that does work too. I think this was easier personally, but let's flip it over. I don't even need those stupid things. I'm just gonna cut the tabs real fast. Ta-da!
This line actually looks really good for a grinder. I mean, it could probably use some sanding, but
I mean, for just
yeah,
eyeballing
for
it
just nailing
along
it.
the lines.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a bad way to do this.
Well, you just gotta have a steady hand with a grinder. I tried to be as steady as I could, but this thing kept like moving a bit.
Shaky.
So I'd just be like, no,
Gives it
hold back.
character.
Yeah. So this part is a bit personal preference. I think some people leave some of this, some people cut all of it out. This is what I'm gonna try and do though. So these 4 bolts here, all they do is hold the bumper on and they hold the weight of it, but I'm gonna cut half this off. So this is what I'm gonna try and do. When I mount this back on, I'm going to obviously have the ones on each side holding it in place still, but I'm going to also just have these top 2 bolts holding it in. What I'm going to do right now is cut this guy off right there, and then this one off right here, And I'm gonna start cutting right about here along this whole thing and get rid of that. And then when you're looking from behind the car, it will be invisible. Let's do it. Alright, and I need to take these off with that guy right there real fast so I can get him out of the way.
Nice.
Alright, there's that one. Let's just do the same thing on this one. And the blade was just a little bit too short to make it all the way through, but it got most of it, so I can pry it off. There we go. That's it. Alright, there's more to cut than just that though. We gotta get the rest of this piece off here. So I'm gonna try and cut up along the inside of here all the way and see. You know what though? Yeah, why don't we just take this off? Why are we working around that? Let's just take it off and make it easier on ourselves. Alright. So if one of them sticks like this, just get something under there to pry up with and then start taking it out. Usually that'll help you out. Yep, there it goes. There it goes. Let's try on this one. There we go. Pry up. Okay. Let's see. Just pop them all out. Oh, probably should get that back, huh? Sorry about your chair, Babcat. It'll clean up fine. It's just got a bunch of plastic bits on it right now.
Is that his chair?
I think so, isn't it?
It's not mine.
Yeah, I think it's Christian's.
Bummer.
I got like a piece of plastic, like hard plastic under my teeth. Okay, now don't tell me that this is going to really mess up the structural integrity of the car and make it more dangerous in an accident, because this is just plastic anyways. If you get into anything remotely significant, this just gets crushed. It does help protect your frame a little bit though, I guess. It absorbs a little bit of an impact before your frame does. So, I don't know. It still has this ribbed section in here though, so it shouldn't take away from doing its job too much. Besides the fact that the car's really low anyway, like everybody's driving around SUVs and stuff, 90% of the time they probably completely miss the bumper anyway. Most of the accidents you see, people get rear-ended and it hits their taillights, not their bumper. So, anyway, don't worry too much about it if that's something that concerns you. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and slide the bumper back onto here and put those screws in, and we'll go ahead and clean up the edge of the bumper a bit where we cut it with a little bit of sanding, but that's about it, man. We're done. Let's start putting everything back together. All right, we got all those screws and stupid snap things back in. Let's peel the tape off and just clean up the edges a bit before we throw it back on the car. All right, what do we want to do to clean this up? You said you had something for the drill?
No, for the grinder. I have a sanding blade. That's what it says.
We got a steel polishing blade. It'll work though. All right, this is just a sanding blade, so we're just gonna run along the edge here and clean up all the kind of just melted pieces hanging off the edge. That's it. Let's go ahead and put it back on the car and see how it looks.
Let's do it. guys, thank you so much for watching. That was a really fun video for us to make. There's plastic everywhere. The bumper looks really good. And it looks like Jesse has a really nice pair of booty shorts on the back of his car. So.
Juicy, baby. Yeah, we made a little bit of a mess, but you can definitely do it other ways. You can use a Dremel, or I mentioned you can use a razor blade, like a box cutter too. I've seen people do that, it just takes longer. But that really wasn't a hard job to do. I don't know why people go to all the trouble of pulling the taillights and the finish panel out, because it's super easy to just pop the bumper, the whole support right off there. Just 4 bolts on each side, or 2 in my case. But anyway, that's all it took. And yeah, I like the way it looks. I think the back end looks pretty nice and sexy and all that. So, I don't know. I think we might go a little bit more aggressive with it though. I'm looking at it right now. When we paint the car, we'll probably pull the bumper off again, and I'll probably cut a little bit more off, go a little bit wider and a little bit higher.
If you have access, we definitely recommend using the grinder because that was really quick for us.
Yeah, it cuts through like butter. It's so easy.
Nice. It was so fast.
I just went really slow. I just went slowly and drew a line for myself with it, like a little groove to cut in, and then just, and that was it. It was super easy. Well, thank you so much for watching, guys. And we just mentioned this a few weeks ago. We hit 500 subscribers, and we're already at now like 660 or something, which is really cool. That's only been a few weeks. So thank you so much to all of our new subscribers and people that have been following us. Please share our videos with your friends. We're doing our best to make fun videos to watch and make really helpful things to show people how to do stuff. I know a lot of times I know people. I'm making these videos and I know people that will watch these and still tell me, oh, I don't know if I can do it. I'm like, dude, like, if you just watch and you want to do it, I think you should be able to. But that's my goal. We're trying to make helpful videos for you guys and make stuff that's fun to watch. So thank you so much for joining us in all this. We really appreciate it.
So like Jesse said, this is very DIY, do it yourself. If you have any questions or you're still unsure, don't be afraid to drop a comment down below and we'll get back to you pretty quickly. We're pretty good about answering your questions and replying to your comments. And thank you for those who have been commenting. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's fun talking to you guys, and just if you have a question, ask, and I always do my best to get back to you as soon as I can.
All right, you guys, we're gonna get out of here because it's really cold, but don't forget, keep wrenching!
Trying to break your creeper, dude?
You already broke yours.
Whatever. That was you. You dropped it.
You sat on it.
That's what it's made for.